Hey, it's Tony Tattoo, and welcome to Wide Open YYC. And we're here in Kildares Pub in the deep southwest of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. First thing I'd like to do is give a shout out to the 156 truck convoy that's on its way right now to Ottawa, Canada, to protest how the federal government right now is treating Alberta and its energy sector. So good job, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it rolling. This week, I'd like to hand our paid employee of the Prime Minister his official report card for the achievements that he's pulled off so far. So let's start with his trip to India. Wow, what a good one. And his little Bollywood dancing and all that stuff, you know, and on taxpayers' money, by the way. So I can't even comment any further on that, but that's one big fail. Summit meeting with Donald Trump. All right, so here's what that is that basically you can only piss on your big brother's shoes so long before he'll give you a kick in the ass. And that's basically what happened. So Trudeau decided that he was going to lip off about Donald Trump and didn't think that Donald Trump actually watched TV. And so then he went ahead and imposed our steel and aluminum tariffs. So thanks for that. Not to mention NAFTA 2.0. Another big one. And now how the government has successfully alienated our allies, in particular Brazil and Saudi Arabia. No need to go any further on that one. How about their ties to China? Okay, so the Prime Minister was playing around with a little trade diversity, and diversity is the fun word he likes to talk about. Did you know that the opposite of diversity is unity? Think about that for a second. All right, so basically what we did was we arrested the CFO for Huawei based on some information that they were in contravention of a U.S. agreement. So we had to arrest her, hold her, by the way, in a wonderful penthouse apartment in Vancouver that she owns. So what she's got to wear a little, ankle bracelet now, so she doesn't leave the country. And the U.S. has kind of taken their time in responding or deciding what they're going to do, because right now, guess what? They're in the middle of a trade deal agreement with China. Go figure. Ooh, and how about that $4.7 billion pipeline we bought? I'll tell you what. I'll bet you the owners of Kinder Morgan were popping champagne corks that day in Houston, Texas, when we decided that we were going to become pipeline operators. And again, another big fail. And now the SNC-Lavalin scandal, which is turning the Liberal Party upside down. And they can't seem to get their story straight on that either. So the real hero, in my opinion, is the ex-Attorney General, who was tight-lipped and, happens to be an Indigenous too. So again, Mr. Prime Minister, he's a big champion of women and a big champion of Indigenous people. Fell flat on his face on that one because she happened to be a woman and Indigenous, and he busted her down to Veterans Affairs Minister, and then she finally got smart, lawyered up, and quit the cabinet. So we'd like to know what's going on there, but again, we can't get a straight answer out of our Prime Minister. So here we go again. Stating, this is a good one, stating that low-income families in Canada don't pay taxes. Newsflash, everybody pays taxes. And low-income families get bit the worst because a family that makes $28,000 per year, and that's based on the minimum wage in Ontario, has to pay $4,782 or 20% of their income in taxes. Again, the disconnect is unbelievable. Or how about the budgets that balance themselves? That's it. He actually said that. Budgets balance themselves. And here we are, $58 billion in debt. And that's called a balanced budget. Are you kidding me? The man must have a brain fart from hell on that. Liberal government, our paid employees. Get this, our paid employees. We are paying these people to do a job. And spends around $5 billion on foreign aid. But we can't seem to scrape together enough cash to take care of our veterans and our homeless people. What a pile of crap that is. And what's being done about it? How are we holding them accountable for this? And then there's the town hall meetings where he goes in with his sleeves rolled up. Yeah, he's a real working man. And I don't think, I don't think he's actually touched a shovel in his life because he'd probably break his manicure or break a nail. I swear, if these paid employees get elected for another term, God forbid, that would be the end of the country as we know it. So Prime Minister Puss in Boots, why not just step down as part of a plea agreement for the SNC Lavalin debacle before our ex-Attorney General, who's a very smart Indigenous woman, will single-handedly take you down. So in short, get lost and stay there. We have a great show coming up for you today. Please subscribe to us on YouTube and join us for conversations on Twitter and Instagram. And remember, keep it between the ditches.
Hello and welcome to Alternatively. I'm your host, Adam. In this segment of Wide Open YYC, I'm joined by Tony Tattoo.
Yeah. I can't wait for this one.
And we are going to go over your opening monologue.
Let's do that.
And hopefully get a different perspective on it. Now, you are not a fan of Justin Trudeau, is what I got from that.
I'm not a fan of what Justin Trudeau does not do.
Okay, which is?
Everything.
Okay. I kind of wanted to start by explaining my thoughts on this are, I don't love everything he's done. I think there have been like a few big fuck ups, but I'm not as critical on him as you guys meaning people of your generation. And I think it's because number one, I think oil and gas and getting away from it, even though we live in Alberta and it's a huge part of our economy, I think morally it is a good thing to get away from oil and gas and get to more renewable resources.
Can I just rewind a bit?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, would we agree on the fact that our elected officials are paid employees?
Yeah, they're to serve the people of Canada, for sure.
All of Canada?
Yes.
Okay. That includes every province?
Yes.
In the best way they can?
Yes.
Okay. So we agree with that. We agree on that.
Yes, I do. But I don't think gains in the short term are necessarily the best thing for Alberta. I think, and I've always said this, the move over to renewable energy, there is going to be a period of adjustment that is going to be tough for many Albertans. But in the long run, it is the better move.
So what is my electricity bill going to look like when we move to renewable energy? What do you think it's going to look like?
I mean, I would hope that if we're getting more energy cheaper, then that would be reflected in your bill. I would hope.
So would I. I mean, I'm all about alternative energy and not just relying on oil and gas. But right now, this is the hard fact that we have to deal with, and it's the hard fact that we can't get our renewable energy as we claim that government is there to be our paid employees, do what's best interest of the whole country. Can't seem to get our product to Tidewater. There is no excuse.
Okay.
None.
But again, when you say right now, it's always right now. It's never going to be a good time to make this like uncomfortable transition, but we have to do it. There's no not doing it. Like,
you know how much carbon resource it takes to make a wind turbine?
I understand that, but
right now.
But that is right now,
right.
And that's what we need to get away from, because once we have more energy from renewable resources, we won't need to rely on oil and gas. Yes, we need to right now, but that's only because.
So for solar energy to work, we need sunshine all the time. For wind turbine,
it's not sunshine all the time. You keep saying that.
For wind turbine, you need wind all the time.
No, it's not sunshine and wind all the time. If you have a solar panel, you can hook it up to a battery and store the power.
How do you make the battery?
Again, I've admitted this already to you that yes, a lot of our economy and infrastructure right now is reliant on oil and gas.
Right.
We have to take steps to get away from that. We have to.
Why?
I mean, I don't want to get into it with you, but climate change, yes.
Because climate change, well, yeah, let's leave that. That's for a different day.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, getting away from oil and gas, there was one other thing that stood out to me.
You agree with the rest of it?
No, I'm saying something that I can speak to, that I actually have an opinion on, is the how the government has successfully alienated our allies, in particular Brazil and Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
So you think that we should be allies with Saudi Arabia?
I think that basically this is kind of a quagmire or a mess. Do I think that we should be allies with a country that can't seem to get out of the 15th century? No, because
but it's not as simple as that. It's a country that kills people and is like completely torturing a country to their south. Like
right.
that is not acceptable.
Absolutely, I agree totally. But why are we? But we are allied to them. We shouldn't be.
Is my point. And so to me, the alienation of Saudi Arabia is the opposite of a fail.
No, what I'm saying is basically that we're in that mess because of the fact that we had military contracts to build them military machines.
Right. And so to get rid of those contracts is a good thing, right?
Well, if not, unless you're working at the plant that's making them.
Right, but morally, selling guns to somebody who's using them
shouldn't be doing it from the beginning.
Right. Yeah.
I agree totally.
So that's my point of
but you're in bed with them anyway, and then
I think this is the main thing that we.
Here's one of the things that bothered me the most about this was little Miss Christy Freeland, right? You got that one woman or that one girl that was leaving her family because she was worried about her life, who stuck herself in the Thailand airport. You
I don't know anything about this.
Okay, well, Canada accepted her into Canada, and then the first thing they do instead of and Saudi Arabia, those guys could whack you anywhere if they really wanted to. So you got this poor girl, 18 years old, right, who's in fear of her life from her family and retribution from that. Canada takes her on, and the first thing that Christy Freeland does is march her out in front of the press in Toronto. Good going.
I don't understand what this has to do with what we were talking about.
It has to do with again, we're in bed with them anyway, but with deals and trade deals.
Right. So
and you're alienating them.
So this is my point. Is I feel like a big difference we have is you say, hey, we're in this thing. We need to keep doing it.
I didn't say that.
Whether it's
did I say that?
Just wait. Whether it's the trade deals with Saudi Arabia that you just said, or whether it's oil and gas or whatever. Mm-hmm. To me, what I want is to start taking steps to making it better, or to when it comes to Saudi Arabia, like getting. Not selling them guns, like not having trade deals with a country that is committing like essentially a genocide right now.
I would be absolutely, but I'd be really interested to see what kind of deals we got going with what countries.
What do you mean?
Wouldn't that be interesting?
What do you mean?
Well, Saudi Arabia wouldn't be an issue at all if we didn't have military contracts with them. It wouldn't be an issue. We wouldn't be doing business with them, would we?
Good. Right.
Yeah. So what other countries do you think that we're doing business with that we don't know about?
Oh God, probably a lot that you and I don't know about.
Brazil, Venezuela.
So Brazil was another one. To me, I'm not sure how he alienated Brazil, but from what I know about who Brazil just elected, cutting ties with that person and that political party is a good thing.
What I'm saying also is that not just those two in particular, but with the China issue that we got going on right now, with the Huawei CFO, and basically China incarcerating Canadians, yarding them off the street, Canadians, is indicative of, again, so what did our allies do? And they went, oh well, we kind of condemn China. Canada has dropped so far in the world, like like the Liberals want to make Canada look so great in the world eyes, and it sucks because our allies are taking a step back from us.
I don't think.
And they're going, oh, well, they don't even strongly condemn what China's doing. They just go, oh, well, that's kind of a bad thing.
But isn't that a shortcoming of our allies, not of us?
It's a shortcoming of our government.
Why?
Because our government isn't strong. It's a weak government.
I don't understand. Okay, so
it's a weak government.
Okay,
our prime minister is weak. He's weak. He's not.
You're saying he's weak. He's not strong. How can he be stronger?
He can only pick on women because it's easy to do.
What?
Oh, you've seen him shove that chick in Parliament.
I did see that video.
And throwing his indigenous female counterpart under the bus to save his own ass. He's weak.
I was not aware of that, but I'm not saying that.
And this is all about the prime minister.
I'm not. Yeah, no, I understand that. I'm not sure.
He just doesn't need to be there.
Okay, I'm not going to defend his character as a person. What I'm saying is the Liberal Party is more than just him, and I think overall the Liberal Party has done more good than bad. I am the first to admit that they have done a number of bad things, but I do not think the level of criticism that is leveled against them is appropriate. And based off of that, we're gonna wrap up this segment.
Here's the thing that one point I want to make.
Okay.
To anybody that's watching this, get out and vote.
Please vote.
All right.
Please vote. Yes. Thank you, Tony. I thought you were gonna go somewhere else with that.
Hi there, and this is Jamie Stern coming at you once again. Wide Open YYC, and the segment is No Limits. I have Mr. Tony Tattoo on my right. Hey. And Mr. Dan the Man on my left. And
you are a man.
He is a man, and his name is Dan.
He is man.
So anyway, today's topic, I was actually kind of talking with Tony Tattoo yesterday, and we decided that we're going to go on maybe a recent article from last week, and it's kind of, we'll hear what Dan has to say later on in the segment, but it's about these two twins, Australian twins, and they are actually the world's most identical twins in the world, and one's Anna and one is Lucy. Apparently these twins will do everything together, including sharing the same bathroom. So one will go at one time and the other will go at another time. Kind of makes us wonder, like, what do you think? Like, what goes in your head when you think that?
When they both go to the bathroom together?
Yeah, like, how would that happen?
Well, you know, I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to sit there and grind out a dump, you know, while my sister's sitting right there with me, or my twin brother. I mean, that's kind of change the roles a bit.
Well, do they sit on top, like one is on the toilet and then they're face to face and like just between the legs?
Like the starfish kind of together?
No, like they're facing each other and they're holding on and they're both, and just the top one's going between the bottom one's legs. Is that how that works?
Oh, yeah, maybe that could be kind of like
Did it say anything about their aim?
It did nothing about the aim, and I researched this. I'm telling you, this is what I do on a Friday night these days, is I stay home and research fake twins with big jugs.
I do that too, just in a different capacity. Because we're trying to help you people. We're here to help.
Yeah, really, there's starving children out there, but this is what the highlight of the news is. Apparently these twins also have to stay the same weight. And in order for them to do that, they have to have the exact same meals, which means exact portions. So if one twin leaves a crumb behind, the other twin actually has to eat that crumb because they have to stay the same weight. Now, I know you had some thoughts about this earlier.
I just thought it was fucking stupid. I don't know. I don't really understand it. If that's their goal and that's what they want to strive to be, good. But
are they gainfully employed?
And that's so funny because I actually tried to research if these twins did have money, and I think it might have been from an inheritance when their dad passed away. And they decided when their dad passed away that the biggest treat of all would be get their jugs done. but apparently their jugs aren't big enough and they want them bigger.
In memoriam, Dad.
Exactly. Big anger. Yeah, so they also have the same boyfriend. And they choose this because they had dated in the past and the other boyfriends would tell them what to do and would separate them. This wasn't happening.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah. So Ben is their boyfriend and they sleep in the same bed. One twin is on the left, one twin is on the right, and Ben is in the middle. And they hold hands, they make love, have sex together at the same time.
Wow. Does Ben have 2 dicks and 4 balls? They can't be at the same time. This is bullshit.
Kind of.
I'm seeing logistic errors all over this. We do everything at the same time.
Well, maybe it's a bendy.
It kind of reminds me of that sad idiot. You know, you ever see the show Sister Wives? The guy's got like 6 wives, and this is the saddest guy I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, he must be exhausted and dried out from like.
Well, you see him. He's trying to maintain control of this thing, and he's just like every day he's like, oh my god, you know, why? They're fighting. Oh, really?
I'm okay.
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that guy.
Yeah,
Because
it's just
those are 6 women who think that polyamorous or whatever the fuck it's called relationship is a good idea. So obviously they're fucked in the head. And he's taking them off of the dating scene so the rest of us don't have to run into these crazy people. Good for him. You're doing a service, sir. You and your crazy wives. You're taking them off the market so normal Joes like me and Tony don't have to deal with these crazy
people. I'm spoken for. I'm a happy man. Okay?
I salute you and your weird lifestyle.
Oh,
so back to these twins.
Yeah, so back to these twins. Yeah, so believe it or not, they actually suffer from body dysmorphia, which means it puts them into depression. And so they're on hand. Oh, I know. There we go. I can feel it over here.
What is body dysmorphia?
Body dysmorphia is somebody who actually does have a really nice body, but they think that they're fat, or somebody that's too skinny thinks that they should lose more weight.
Aww.
It's just a bad image of your body.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, so.
I feel for them on that. That's okay.
Yeah, so.
Do they have any mirrors in their house?
Well, you know, I should have researched that.
That's a mental
I'm sure
disorder.
they do, but their eyebrows, everything has to be completely perfect.
Wow.
To the whole point where one twin actually is longer in the leg on the left-hand side.
Ugh.
So she, it's a caveman, no. She walks.
Walks in circles.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get in and get me some broken oil steaks, but I keep walking in circles.
Daddy, you gotta keep walking in circles? Shut up on there, you're on the foot of the floor.
So yeah, so she does walk a little faster than the other twin. So the other twin at the end of the day has to keep up with this other twin so they can maintain the same weight.
So in their set of heels, does she get like one
They have the
heel
exact
a little
same
bit
heels. No, well, I don't know. I never.
Well, she's got to use a lift, because then they got to be the same.
Well, I don't know. They must use a lift.
Logistical errors. These twins are bullshit.
Anyway, they do know that they have a lot of haters. They call them trolls. And they get a lot of bad comments, and they said they don't give a shit because they are who they are.
Good for them.
And they're gonna have.
Well, they have money.
Well, where they're getting this money from, I think, could be some publicity. I'm not sure. I don't know, but yeah, and they're gonna have babies together, but they want to be pregnant at the same time.
That's impossible. Because the guy's only got one dick.
Well, that would mean that their gifts from God have to be synchronized at the same time.
They'd have to be artificial
I mean,
insemination.
I'm not a woman, but what do you think?
Well, I was kind of going with Dad on this one with the turkey basters.
Well, it had to be a doctor who's just like, you know, like those movies with the nuclear codes and they got the 2 guys with the keys turning it at the same time, like pressing the button at the same time to launch the warhead. That's what has to happen. We gotta have like 2 doctors, like, okay, 1, 2, 3, squirt. I don't know, I'm not a doctor. Is it a turkey baster? Is it some sort of syringe?
I think it's a syringe, to be honest,
Okay.
but I'm not sure.
And then the guy's just in the middle, bends in the middle, like holding hands, like, yeah, this is what I want.
Do
I mean, no, it's not, because they're probably gonna have twins too.
You know,
And all of a
I
sudden-
take it back. The guy from Sister Wives is not the saddest guy on the planet. This guy is the saddest guy on the planet.
He does
Ben-
look pretty happy though. He does
Ben,
look
I
pretty
salute
happy.
you, taking these 2 crazies off the market.
Anyway, yeah, so that's a twin story, and I've pretty much covered the whole thing. It's not a massive story. It's just a little article, and then I kind of researched a little bit more. But
yeah, but it's so bizarre. It's so out there, man.
Well, they're so identical actually that they when they go through face scans, they actually pass each other's face scan.
Get out.
I swear, most identical twins in the world, the Australian twins.
That's a security. That's a security problem. I used
to work with two twins, and it was funny because they're two Polish girls who just came to Canada. They're kind of fresh off the boat type of thing. And it was funny because you just get into conversations and you go like, so, did you guys go to each other's classes in school? And you go, oh yeah, she's good at math, I'm good at English, so we used to go to each other, we used to take each other's classes and get, great marks. It was like, and the teacher would know the difference, right? I think that's cool. I mean, that's useful.
That is useful. Actually, I know a lot of twins too, and I never find that they look absolutely identical. Like one kind of looks a little different, I always find.
I avoid twins, I think they're fucking evil.
Have you had a bad twin experience?
No, it's just fucking unnatural and weird.
Would you ever do two twins if you were single?
No. If I ever could convince two women to have sex with me at the same time, that's a long shot in the first place. I wouldn't want to waste that experience on somebody who's like, yeah, this chick's hot. This chick's exactly the same amount of hot. Like, I need some sort of like, this one's got little perky tits, this one's got big floppy tits, this one's got short brown hair, this one's got long red hair. You're gonna need some variety.
The dial tone tits too,
Do you buy a bag of M&Ms that's just red M&Ms? No, you get a bag and it's got all kinds of different colors.
What a mixture.
Yeah.
What a mixture. So why?
Unless you're Van Halen.
brown M&Ms.
That's it.
Do you know David Lee Roth gave out backstage passes and he signed? He got the guys that he gave them to sign their initials to it. So when stagehands gave the backstage passes to chicks, if David Lee Roth ended up fucking the chick with your initials on the backstage pass, you got a $100 bonus.
Yeah, back in the day, $100 was like $400. But one of the things that a lot of people don't realize why they didn't allow brown M&Ms in their dressing room was because of it, and why they'd throw a hissy fit if they found brown M&Ms was the fact that it was slipped into the contract rider along with stage dimensions, what they need for to control the weight of the stage, this and that, like really serious stuff. And basically it just kind of proved that the promoter didn't read the contract properly. So they just slipped in that clause, like no brown M&Ms, and if they found them in there, then, they give them all the reason in the world to trash the dressing room. But,
those poor brown M&Ms. Why does it have to be the brown ones? Could it not be the yellow ones?
Yeah, yellow ones are rubbishy, aren't they?
Well, they're a little rubbishy too, I guess.
Yeah. The brown ones look like...
But it's not like they taste different, but it's just, nobody likes yellow anything.
Did you guys see all the M&M commercials over the Super Bowl? Oh, they were really, really good.
Really?
Yeah. They had one with Christina Applegate. And Christina Applegate, the girl of Kelly Bundy, Married Children.
Love and Marriage.
I was born in '88.
Well, still, there's so many called reruns.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Three's Company? Oh, really?
Oh my God.
No, Seinfeld?
You have lost it.
Seinfeld, yeah, that was the '90s. That makes sense.
All in the Family?
Is that the little racist guy?
Yeah.
I thought that was this.
All right, what's your favorite sitcom? If you had to pick one.
There we go.
Oh, Jesus. Probably Seinfeld.
Seinfeld,
Really?
definitely, hands down.
Seinfeld?
Me too.
I don't know. I like the old school stuff. All in the Family is always a good laugh. Because back in the day, I mean...
Don't date yourself.
Oh, I don't care. I'll date myself. But the thing is that back in the day, you could actually have racial tension, and this is basically what it was all about. It was like basically, you got yourself a guy who hates everybody, and he's his own pariah, and he's so funny because he's so stuck in one.
What's wrong with hating everybody?
Well, no, but to racial slurs, like he'd call them, I won't even get into it now, but the thing is, he was kind of his own worst enemy, right? Because he was so stuck in his belief and thinking, but still it brought humor. That people in those days, which people don't seem to be able to do right now, is laugh at themselves or be in on the joke.
Well, you have to laugh at yourself.
Have you ever seen a Dean Martin roast? Like it is
hilarious.
Like you got Nipsey Russell, you got all these guys. Sammy
Sorry.
Davis Jr.
There was somebody named Nipsey
Russell. Yeah, Nipsey Russell. absolutely. He's a fine black gentleman.
She had beautiful nipples.
Everybody was in on the joke. Everybody had thick skin. Everybody laughed at themselves as much as they laughed at everybody else.
Yeah.
And now it seems you can't do that because it'd be offending somebody, and it's bullshit as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I don't know. I like Seinfeld. That was my favorite. And Three's Company. And that's that, you know. You got something to say? I feel it. Yeah. So anyway, back to these Australian twins.
Are we still on that?
Well, I mean, I just want to know if you have anything else to say about this before we convene.
Yeah.
They're not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, there are famous people out there who spout their shit on public forums and soapboxes that can be damaging. These people are just saying, hey, we want to be the same. And people are like, okay, we'll put you on TV and give you money for that. So, I don't know, fucking good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, don't let that confuse the fact that I think you're fucking weird.
Well,
but I'm allowed to think that you're weird.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. But you're making money off of it, so fucking good for you.
Yeah, the whole thing is don't hate on them. They're just living their
They're
lives.
just doing their thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, if I had a twin, I would probably want the same guy too. Why not? Keep it in the family, right?
Yeah, like any guy would want two of you.
Oh, they would love it. Come on, it'd be an explosion. They would love it. Because I'm awesome.
Which brings up my next point.
Oh, what is your next point?
No, that's where you cut. Which brings up my next point, and then that's where you cut.
Anyway, that was the article that I wanted to talk about today. And yeah, Miss Shauna Lee is not here today. She is out of town. So I brought these lovely men on the show. And thank you so much for discussing the Australian
Cheers, guys.
twins. So
Yeah.
cheers.
All right.
And thanks to Kildares again. And we follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And the camera crew, obviously, they're amazing. And I guess we'll be coming up to Dan Rance soon. So take care, my friends. Stay warm. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Tom Brady is fucking overrated, and here's why. I can't get over the fact that people are like, Tom Brady's got 6 rings. Bill Belichick has 6 rings because the coach and the scheme makes that team, and it makes every other team in the NFL. If you look at players who are in the NFL before, during, and after their time with the Patriots, they are better with the Patriots. Randy Moss, Rodney Harrison, Willie McGinnis, all these players had career years with the Patriots. Matt fucking Castles made an entire career out of one season going 10-6 with the Patriots. And I didn't make the playoffs that year, but still, that career backup has made oogles of money off of one season with the Patriots. I really and truly believe that Tom Brady is trying to outlast Bill Belichick, which is why he's eating his avocado ice cream and refusing to eat tomatoes, which, side note, fucking weird. Tomatoes are delicious. I really think he's trying to outlast him because if for some reason Tom Brady retires and Bill Belichick continues to coach for another 4 years and he wins 2 AFC titles and a Super Bowl with Brian fucking Hoyer, that really kind of shatters Tom Brady's legacy, doesn't it? This is a further overarching story I have for the NFL where if you look at Jared Goff before Sean McVay, Drew Brees before Sean Payton, Alex Smith before he hit Andy Reid in the Kansas City offense, Kirk Cousins and Matt Ryan before and after Kyle Shanahan. It's coaching and schemes. And there is no better coach and no better schemer in the fucking NFL than Bill Belichick. Can't take that away from him. But Tom Brady's the most overrated fucking quarterback. He's a 6th-round pick for a goddamn reason. Put him on any top 5 list. Is he a top 5 thrower of the football, accuracy-wise? No. Is he a top 5 power guy? No. Top 5 escapability? No. He's on nobody's top 5 list for any individual accomplishment for a quarterback or individual talent for a quarterback. So why the fuck is he called the GOAT? It's because he's got the greatest fucking support system. You know how good of a fucking coach Bill Belichick is? Julian Edelman was an undrafted quarterback who just won Super Bowl MVP as a wide receiver. And That's crazy, because there's more I could say about Julian Edelman and his steroid abuse, but I don't even have to get into that, because it's all about coaching and scheme. Tom Brady's fucking overrated. Deal with it.
Hey, this is Tony Tattoo, and thank you for joining us for this week's episode of Wide Open YYC. And remember, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and also join us for conversations on Twitter and Instagram. So remember, keep it between the ditches.